Let me ask you something. How much of your life have you wasted being angry at people who don't even deserve a single second of your energy? How many nights have you lost sleep because of something someone said, or something someone did, or even worse, something you imagined they thought about you? Listen closely. Anger doesn't punish the other person. It punishes you. It burns through your energy. It destroys your focus. It makes you weak in the very moments you need to be strong. The moment you hand your emotions over to another person, you've given them power over your life. And if you're serious about living at your highest level, you cannot afford to live as a prisoner to other people's words or actions. The secret isn't to change the world. The secret is to change the meaning you attach to what happens. You can't control people, but you can control how you respond. Someone disrespects you. Good, that's an opportunity to show composure. Someone tries to provoke you. Perfect. That's your training ground to master your emotions. Life will always test you, but the test is not about them. It's about you. The truth is, people who lash out, people who gossip, people who try to pull you down, they're showing you their pain, not your worth. So why would you take it personally? Why would you let their storm become your storm? Instead, make a decision. I will not give my peace away. I will not hand over my joy. I will not let anyone dictate how I feel. You want to know how to never feel angry or bothered by anyone? Raise your standards for yourself and lower your expectations for others. Stop expecting people to act the way you want them to. Stop waiting for apologies. Stop needing validation. When you free yourself from that trap, no one can control you. And here's the key. Focus on your vision. People who are truly obsessed with their goals don't have time for petty drama. You can't be angry and obsessed at the same time. You can't be bothered and focused at the same time. Choose obsession with your future over reaction to someone else's nonsense. The greatest power is not reacting. The greatest strength is remaining calm when everyone else is losing their mind. That's real mastery. That's how you rise above. So decide today, from this moment forward, no one owns your emotions but you. Whatever they say, whatever they do, it's noise. And you're the one who controls the volume. Think about this carefully, because most people go their entire lives without realizing it. The moment you let someone push your buttons, the moment you let their words, their opinions, their behavior dictate how you feel, you have handed over your power. And power is not something you can afford to give away. Your emotions are your fuel. They shape your decisions. They direct your focus. They either drive you forward or hold you back. And when you allow someone else to dictate them, you are no longer in charge of your own destiny. You are being steered like a puppet on a string, and you might not even know it. Imagine waking up in the morning full of energy with a clear intention for your day. You've got goals, you've got plans, you've got that fire inside. But then one person makes a comment, sends a text, or looks at you the wrong way, and suddenly your whole state shifts. You go from being powerful to being reactive. You go from being in command to being a victim. That one interaction throws you off balance. And now, instead of executing on your vision, you're replaying the moment in your head over and over again, giving your energy away, giving your focus away, giving your peace away. That is how most people live. They hand out pieces of their power all day long and wonder why they feel drained, why they feel weak, why they can't break through. You must understand this. Nobody can make you angry. Nobody can make you upset. Nobody can make you feel small unless you give them permission. That's right, it is a choice. The world will test you every single day, but you are not a robot that has to react on autopilot. You are a human being with the ability to decide what meaning to attach to any situation. If someone insults you, you could decide it means they're right and you should feel hurt, or you could decide it means they're projecting their own insecurities. If someone ignores you, you could decide it means you're unworthy, or you could decide it means they're distracted with their own struggles. It's not about what happens, it's about the meaning you assign. And when you control the meaning, you control your emotions. The most powerful people in the world are not the ones who can control others, they are the ones who can control themselves. Mastery over your emotions is mastery over your life. Every time you react in anger, every time you explode in frustration, every time you let someone else push you off center, you're proving that you're not in control yet. But the second you choose to respond with calmness, with composure, with certainty, you reclaim your power. You show yourself that no matter what the world throws at you, you are unshaken. Think about the leaders you admire, the champions you respect, the people who inspire you. They all have one thing in common. They don't get rattled easily. They don't allow small people to pull them into small problems. They stay focused on the big picture because they know energy is precious, time is limited, focus is everything. And they refuse to waste it on someone else's drama. They refuse to hand their emotions over to anyone who hasn't earned the right to influence their life. Now, here's the truth most people don't want to face. If you're constantly getting angry at others, if you're always bothered by what people say or do, it's not about them, it's about you. It's about your lack of emotional discipline. It's about the fact that you've built no boundaries around your state of mind. It's about the fact that you haven't conditioned yourself to respond differently. But the good news is you can change it. You can train yourself to build such a powerful emotional foundation that nothing shakes you. And when you do, you become unstoppable. Start small. The next time someone cuts you off in traffic, instead of exploding, smile. The next time someone tries to criticize you, instead of biting back, observe them with curiosity. The next time someone ignores you, instead of shrinking, remind yourself of your worth. Every single time you choose not to react, you're building muscle. You're strengthening your emotional discipline. You're proving to yourself that you don't bend for every little breeze. You stand tall like a mountain. Remember, people can try to provoke you, but only you can allow yourself to be provoked. People can try to upset you, but only you can give them permission to succeed. And once you stop giving away that permission, once you stop giving away your power, you'll find a level of peace and strength you've never experienced before. You'll walk into rooms and feel unshakable. You'll face challenges and feel unbreakable. You'll encounter negativity and stay untouchable. Because at the deepest level, you'll know this truth. No one controls your emotions but you. When you get angry, you think you're hurting the other person. You think you're teaching them a lesson. You think you're giving them a taste of their own medicine, but in reality, you're poisoning yourself. Anger is like drinking a glass of poison and hoping the other person dies. It doesn't work that way. It eats you from the inside. It drains your energy. It clouds your judgment. It weakens your body. And it traps you in a cycle where you keep reliving the pain instead of moving forward. Every time you hold on to anger, your mind replays the moment like a broken record. You rehearse the insult, you replay the betrayal, you reimagine the argument. And each time you do, your nervous system doesn't know the difference between what's happening in your head and what's happening in reality. You feel the same stress hormones, the same adrenaline, the same cortisol running through your body as if it just happened. You think you're punishing them by being mad, but you're only punishing yourself again and again. The other person has moved on, they're living their life. They're not carrying your anger. You are. When you're angry, your vision narrows. You can't think clearly. You miss opportunities. You make decisions that you regret later. You say words you can't take back. Anger may feel powerful in the moment, but it makes you powerless in the long run. Because every second you spend being angry is a second you've lost being creative, being productive, being present, being happy. You think you're standing your ground, but what you're really doing is giving your life away one piece at a time. Understand this, anger never solves problems, it multiplies them. You get angry at your boss, you explode. Now you've lost your job. You get angry at your partner, you say something cruel. Now the relationship has scars that won't heal easily. You get angry at a stranger in traffic, you let it escalate. Now you're facing consequences you never intended. In the moment, anger feels justified, it feels righteous, it feels like power, but in the aftermath, it leaves nothing but destruction, regret, and wasted energy. If you've ever noticed, the people who stay calm in difficult situations always come out ahead. Why? Because while everyone else is reacting emotionally, they are thinking strategically. While others are burning bridges, they are building them. While others are making enemies, they are creating influence. That is the difference between being controlled by anger and being in control of yourself. One destroys, the other creates. One drains, the other multiplies. Your health also pays the price for anger. When you hold on to it, your blood pressure rises, your immune system weakens, your body ages faster. Science has shown that chronic anger and resentment are linked to heart disease, strokes, and even cancer. That's how toxic it is. So every time you let anger live inside you, you are literally damaging your body. And for what? For something someone said, for something someone did, for something you can't control. Is it really worth trading your health for their mistake? Think about how many moments in your life were ruined not because of what happened, but because of the anger you carried about what happened. A family gathering where one comment ruined the whole night. A business opportunity that slipped away because you reacted instead of responded. A friendship that ended because you couldn't let go of being right. Anger steals joy. Anger steals connection. Anger steals your future. And the cruel part is the person you're angry at usually doesn't even feel it. They don't carry the weight, you do. But here's the truth, anger is not automatic. It feels like it is, but it's not. It's a conditioned response. You've trained yourself over years to explode, to react, to hold grudges. And the same way you trained yourself into anger, you can train yourself out of it. You can rewire your brain to pause, to breathe, to detach, to choose calm over chaos. That doesn't mean you let people walk all over you. It means you stop letting people control you through your own emotions. It means you learn to respond with strength instead of reacting with weakness. The next time someone tries to provoke you, recognize it for what it is. They are trying to pass their pain on to you. Don't accept the delivery. The next time you feel the anger rising, pause and ask yourself, ooh, is this really hurting? If you explode, if you lash out, if you hold on to it, the answer is always you. You're the one losing peace. You're the one losing focus. You're the one losing energy. And once you realize that, you'll see anger is never worth it. Think about the moments you've been proudest of yourself. They're not the times you screamed the loudest. They're not the times you got the last word. They're not the times you held on to resentment. They're the moments you rose above, the moments you stayed calm, the moments you refused to let someone drag you into their storm. That's real strength. That's real power. Anger punishes you, not the person who triggered it. Every time you choose it, you are choosing self-destruction. Every time you let it go, you are choosing freedom. You're choosing clarity. You're choosing life. Every time someone criticizes you, gossips about you, tries to tear you down, or throws negativity your way, it's easy to take it personally. It's easy to start questioning yourself, doubting your value, wondering if what they said is true. But the truth is, negativity is never really about you. It's about them. It's a mirror of their inner world, not a reflection of your worth. People project what they carry inside. If someone is full of insecurity, they will project insecurity. If someone is filled with jealousy, they will project jealousy. If someone is consumed by fear, anger, or resentment, they will leak that onto everyone around them. It's not because you are not good enough. It's because they are fighting a battle within themselves that you cannot see. Think about it. When was the last time you saw someone truly happy, truly fulfilled, truly at peace, go out of their way to attack someone else? You don't. Fulfilled people don't tear others down. Confident people don't spread gossip. Secure people don't try to make others feel small. People only give what they have. If they have love, they give love. If they have joy, they spread joy. If they have peace, they radiate peace. And if they have pain, they project pain. So the next time someone tries to throw negativity at you, don't take it as proof of your weakness. Take it as proof of theirs. The mistake most people make is they internalize negativity. They allow someone else's words to burrow into their mind like poison. They replay it over and over. They start asking, what if they're right? What if I'm not enough? What if I can't do it? And the tragedy is none of that was even about them to begin with. It was about the person who spoke it, about the wounds they carry, about the story they've built in their head. But by internalizing it, you've now made their problem your problem. You've taken their baggage and put it on your shoulders. You have to learn to separate who you are from what people say. Just because someone labels you doesn't mean it's true. Just because someone criticizes you doesn't mean you're failing. Just because someone doubts you doesn't mean you're incapable. Their words are filtered through their fears, their failures, their experiences, their insecurities. They're not giving you objective truth. They're giving you their version of reality. And most of the time, that version is clouded, distorted, and fueled by their own unresolved pain. This is why you can't live your life based on approval. If you live for people's validation, you'll die from their rejection. If you rely on their praise to feel good, you'll crumble under their criticism. And if you measure your worth by their opinion, you'll never feel enough, because there will always be someone who doesn't like you, doesn't agree with you, doesn't believe in you. You cannot escape negativity in this world, but you can learn to see it differently. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me? Start asking, what's going on with them? That shift changes everything. Imagine someone insults you in public. The old you might get defensive, lash out, or feel crushed. But the new you pauses and thinks, what pain must this person be carrying to act like this? Suddenly, it's not about you anymore. It's about their whim, their insecurity, their struggle. And when you see it that way, you don't get pulled into their storm. You remain calm. You keep your peace. You keep your power. Negativity is often a cry for help in disguise. People who criticize loudly are often the ones who feel invisible. People who attack others are often the ones who feel powerless. People who judge harshly are often the ones who judge themselves even more harshly. When you realize that, compassion becomes easier. Instead of reacting with anger, you can respond with understanding. Instead of carrying their words as wounds, you can let them pass through you without sticking. But make no mistake, understanding doesn't mean accepting abuse. You don't have to tolerate toxic people. You don't have to keep everyone close. You don't have to give space in your life to those who drain you. You can set boundaries while still understanding that their behavior is a reflection of their pain. You can walk away from negativity without taking it personally. You can rise above without letting it pull you down. You have to remind yourself daily my worth is not defined by someone else's opinion. My value is not determined by someone else's words. My future is not shaped by someone else's belief. The only person who gets to decide how much I'm worth is me. The only voice that defines me is the one inside my own head. And if that voice is strong, no amount of outside negativity can shake it. People will always have something to say. Some will cheer you on, some will doubt you, some will hate you for no reason at all. But every single one of those reactions is about them, not you. The person who supports you is expressing their belief system. The person who doubts you is expressing theirs. The person who hates you is showing you the depth of their own pain. None of it changes your value. None of it reduces your potential. None of it has the power to stop you unless you let it in. The secret is learning to treat negativity like background noise. You hear it, but you don't focus on it. You notice it, but you don't absorb it. You let it pass like static on a radio because you know the real music of your life is playing on a higher frequency. And when you live on that higher frequency, when you operate from a place of vision, purpose, and inner strength, negativity cannot stick to you. It bounces off because you've built an identity that isn't shaken by other people's storms. People's negativity reflects their pain, not your worth. That truth will set you free from taking things personally, free from carrying unnecessary burdens, free from shrinking yourself to fit other people's expectations. It will give you the strength to keep going when others doubt you, to keep shining when others try to dim your light, to keep building when others try to tear you down. Because at the end of the day, you'll know that nothing they say can touch who you truly are. Most of the frustration, anger, and disappointment people feel in life comes from one thing: expecting others to live up to standards they never agreed to. You expect people to be honest the way you are, to be loyal the way you are, to show up the way you show up, to care as much as you care. And when they don't, you get hurt, you get frustrated, you get angry. But the truth is, people are who they are. They're shaped by their experiences, their beliefs, their limitations, their own level of awareness. They're not living life to meet your expectations. They're living life from their own perspective. And when you finally understand that, you stop being constantly disappointed. You stop being constantly frustrated. You stop letting people's behavior shake your peace. You cannot control people. You cannot force them to act the way you think they should act. You cannot demand loyalty, honesty, consistency, or effort from someone who has no intention of giving it. But you can control you. You can raise the standards for yourself. You can demand more of yourself than anyone else ever could. You can decide that you will live with integrity, that you will operate with excellence, that you will pursue growth, that you will take responsibility for your life no matter what. That's where real power comes from. When you stop waiting for others to show up and start raising the bar for yourself, you become unshackable. Raising your standards for yourself means refusing to accept mediocrity in your own life. It means not settling for half-hearted effort, not cutting corners, not living on autopilot. It means setting the bar so high for how you live, how you think, how you treat others, that it becomes impossible for you to slip into smallness. You demand of yourself discipline when it's hard, focus when it's tempting to be distracted, resilience when it's tempting to give up. You build an inner standard so strong that no matter what anyone else does, you're grounded in who you are. At the same time, lowering your expectations of others means freeing yourself from the constant trap of disappointment. It doesn't mean you don't care. It doesn't mean you don't hold people accountable. It means you stop assuming people will act exactly the way you want them to. You stop expecting someone to always understand you, to always treat you the way you treat them, to always live by your code. You accept that people are different. Some will rise to the level of your loyalty, some will not. Some will appreciate your effort, some will take it for granted. Some will match your energy, some will fall short. When you understand this, you stop being surprised. You stop being bothered. You stop wasting emotional energy on wishing people were different than they are. Think about how much pain comes from unmet expectations. A friend forgets to call and you feel abandoned. A colleague doesn't give the same effort and you feel resentful. A family member doesn't support your dream and you feel betrayed. But none of those feelings are about the event itself. They're about the expectation you had. You expected them to show up a certain way, and when they didn't, you attached pain to it. Imagine instead if you lowered that expectation. Imagine if you gave people the freedom to be who they are without needing them to fit your script. Suddenly, their actions no longer control your emotions. Suddenly, you're not chained to their behavior. You're free. This doesn't mean lowering your standards for how you allow people to treat you. There's a difference. You still protect your boundaries. You still decide what you tolerate. You still walk away from toxic people. But you don't walk into every relationship expecting perfection. You don't set yourself up to be hurt by demanding people act in ways that aren't natural for them. You love people as they are, not as you wish they'd be, while still maintaining your own standards of self-respect and growth. When you live this way, two things happen. First, you stop being disappointed so often. You stop taking things personally. You stop making everything about you. If someone cancels plans, it doesn't mean you're unimportant. It means they're caught up in their world. If someone doesn't match your effort, it doesn't mean you're weak for giving. It means they're not capable of giving the same. You stop tying your happiness to the unpredictable behavior of others. Second, you raise your own game to such a level that people around you can't help but notice. You become an example. You inspire others to rise, not by demanding it, but by embodying it. Raising your standards is about identity. It's about deciding who you are and living in alignment with it every day. It's about saying, this is the kind of person I am. This is how I show up. This is what I accept from myself. When you hold yourself to that level, it no longer matters what others do. If someone betrays you, you know you acted with integrity. If someone leaves, you know you gave your best. If someone criticizes, you know you stood by your values. That inner certainty is what frees you from being shaken by people's choices. When you raise your standards, you stop negotiating with yourself. You don't hit the snooze button when you said you'd wake up early. You don't eat the junk when you said you'd stay disciplined. You don't give half effort when you said you'd go all in. You hold yourself accountable at the highest level because you know the only way to build true confidence is to keep promises to yourself. Every time you raise your standards and keep them, you prove to yourself that you are trustworthy, that you are powerful, that you are unstoppable. And when you lower your expectations of others, you stop wasting energy on what you can't control. You stop trying to force people into boxes. You stop demanding they give you what they can't give. Instead, you focus on what you can control, your actions, your standards, your growth. That shift in focus is everything. It pulls you out of victimhood and puts you back in the driver's seat. Because the truth is, disappointment only lives in the gap between expectation and reality. Close that gap, and you close the door on frustration. So the path is simple, but it requires strength. Stop expecting others to live by your script and start demanding more of yourself than ever before. That combination makes you untouchable. It makes you free from constant emotional roller coasters. It makes you grounded, centered, and powerful. Because no matter what anyone else does, you know who you are, you know how you live, and you know what you stand for. True strength is not about who shouts the loudest, who fights the hardest, or who reacts the fastest. True strength is about control. It's about presence. It's about being the one who remains calm in the middle of chaos, the one who doesn't get pulled into the storm, the one who stands firm when everyone else is losing their balance. Most people think that anger, aggression, or loudness show power, but they don't. Those are signs of a weak foundation, signs that someone has been triggered, signs that someone else has control over their state. The greatest strength is when you cannot be moved by what others do or say. When your peace is untouchable, when you decide that nothing outside of you has the power to shake what is inside you. When someone tries to disturb your peace, they are testing your foundation. They are pressing on your weaknesses to see if you'll collapse. They are throwing noise at you to see if they can grab your attention. And most people fall for it. Most people get pulled into the drama. Someone insults them and they fire back. Someone cuts them off and they rage. Someone doubts them and they crumble. That is exactly what it means to be controlled by others. But when you choose calm, when you choose to remain unshaken, you are proving that you are in charge of you. You are showing that no one has the power to control your emotions but you. Think about the image of a mountain. A storm can rage around it, winds can whip at its peak, rain can pour down, lightning can strike, but the mountain does not move. It stands tall, it endures, it remains. That is the kind of strength you must build within yourself. So that no matter how much noise people create around you, no matter how much negativity they project, no matter how hard they try to pull you into their storm, you remain steady, you remain focused, you remain grounded. Remaining calm does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you are passive. It does not mean you let people walk over you. It means you refuse to let them drag you down to their level. It means you choose to respond with intelligence rather than react with impulse. It means you know that the one who stays composed has the real power because they are the ones who can think clearly, act wisely, and stay aligned with their vision. Anger clouds judgment. Calmness sharpens it. Reactivity loses battles. Composure wins wars. Every time someone tries to disturb your peace, you are being given a gift, a chance to practice mastery, a chance to reinforce that you are in control, a chance to prove to yourself that you've grown beyond the need to react. Instead of seeing those moments as attacks, see them as training. Every insult, every challenge, every provocation is your arena to build strength. When you remain calm, you are not ignoring the situation, you are mastering it. You are choosing not to be controlled. You are building the muscle of discipline. And here's the truth: people will always test you. There will always be critics. There will always be doubters. There will always be negative voices trying to shake your confidence. You cannot stop the noise, but you can control whether or not you let it in. If you allow every voice to affect you, you will spend your life on an emotional roller coaster, up when people praise you and down when they criticize you. But when you decide that your peace is non-negotiable, when you decide that no one else has the right to dictate your emotional state, you step into a level of power that very few ever reach. Think about the leaders who inspire you, the people you look up to, the ones who seem unbreakable. They're not unbreakable because life is easy for them. They're not calm because no one criticizes them. They are calm because they've trained themselves to be unshaken. They've built the habit of responding instead of reacting. They've chosen again and again to value peace over petty fights, to value focus over drama, to value clarity over chaos. That's why they stand out. That's why they rise above. That's why they succeed when others get stuck. Calmness is a superpower because it creates space. When you're calm, you give yourself time to think. You give yourself time to choose the best response instead of the fastest reaction. You give yourself the ability to see the bigger picture, to ask, does this even matter? Is this worth my energy? Will this matter a week from now, a year from now, 5 years from now? Most of the time, the answer is no. Most of the things that disturb your peace are not worth it. But if you react in the heat of the moment, you give them importance they don't deserve. Remaining unshaken also builds respect. People may not say it out loud, but they respect the person who doesn't flinch, the one who doesn't get rattled, the one who keeps their cool when everyone else loses it. It shows maturity. It shows strength. It shows leadership. Because when you can control yourself, you can lead others. When you can't even control your own emotions, you're at the mercy of the world. But when you remain calm, you become the anchor in the storm. People look to you for stability because you radiate it. This is not easy. It requires training. It requires catching yourself in the moments when you want to snap, when you want to react, when you want to let anger take over, and choosing differently. It requires building awareness of your triggers and practicing new patterns. It requires deciding again and again that your peace is worth more than winning an argument, worth more than proving a point, worth more than showing someone they're wrong. It requires humility, discipline, and strength. But the payoff is everything. When you are calm and unshaken, nothing can stop you. You don't waste time on petty fights. You don't burn energy on drama. You don't let emotions hijack your goals. You stay locked on your vision. You move forward no matter what others do. And while everyone else is caught up in battles that don't matter, you are building, creating, growing, and winning. That is the power of staying calm. That is the strength of being unshaken.